I wanted to update you that we have some clarity on the new Poshmark excessive listing removal policy update that is coming into effect very soon, May 1st. I'm filming this at the end of April 2025. So they have detailed, maybe they heard our feedback and got on it, because they did. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll link the first video down below. Basically, they released just last week an email saying you are no longer going to be able to relist things excessively. What that meant, we didn't know. There weren't very specific parameters. A lot of people were upset. I was not, because I don't relist very often on Poshmark anyways. I only relist my items, you guys, twice a year. If you're new around here, hello, my name is Nikki. I've been selling on Poshmark for 7 years? 6 years? 6 years. This March made it 6 years, and I do a full inventory of all of my items twice a year. Usually it is in June, like June, July, the slower summertime. And then I try to do it before Q4 starts, but it usually bleeds in a little bit to Q4. So what I mean by that is I go through every single bin of clothing I have. If you're new around here, I have a storage unit where I store my 1,500 active items. I don't have 1,500 listed on Poshmark. I have about 800 right now on Poshmark, 1,500 on eBay. I go through every bin. I go through every listing. I make sure everything is listed. I decide if I want to relist it on Poshmark or if I'm just going to leave it. I decide if I'm going to take new photos. And now my virtual assistant and I are actually going to also update comps. So we're going to check comps on every single item. Inventory is going to take a very long time. All of that to say, you guys, I was not excessively relisting on Poshmark anyways. I was probably relisting items twice a year. So of my 800 items that were on Poshmark, I would relist twice a year. But I guess this policy is more so targeted at people, and I didn't know this was happening, that are literally relisting the same items over and over and over. And hey, I always tell you guys, this is a judgment-free zone over here. You run your business however you want. I just tell you what's working for me. But a lot of people commented on that first video I posted and said that that's how they get a lot of sales. They have smaller closets or they have larger closets, and relisting just puts their stuff at the top of search. A lot of people have said Poshmark is so slow, sales-wise and getting sales, and that's the only way that they can get sales. I think that doesn't apply to me, you guys, because I'm listing so much new inventory all the time. You guys know I list anywhere from 10 to 30. Right now I'm at 10 to 30 items every single day, new items. So that's why I can't focus so much on relisting, because I just have so much new stuff I need to get listed. So all that to say, I'll probably put this on the screen. They did give specific parameters, which I find helpful. So here's what you can do under the new policy. You can refresh listings that haven't sold for 60 plus days. So basically, you can relist stuff that's been listed for 60 days and hasn't sold. It says you're welcome to refresh older listings to keep your closet vibrant and up to date. This policy is about how often you revisit your listings, not how you do it. Okay? Improve your refresh listings. You can add new photos, update titles. Well, I knew all that. I just really wanted to know what the time frame was. I just wanted to make sure that twice a year wasn't what they considered too much. I just wanted definitive answers. Use in-app features to reach shoppers. Some of this stuff is just duh. You can price drop offers to likers. I know that. No one thought that was... Anyways. Remove listings when no longer available. If your item sells elsewhere or is out of stock, you can delete it from Poshmark. Haven't we? Why would that go away? Sorry. I don't mean to sound callous. Continue using the copy listing feature. Copy listings can be used to create similar listings anytime or to refresh existing listings after 60 days. So here's what this is targeted at. It says this is what we're discouraging. Excessive deletion and relisting of the same items. So removal and relisting of items in fewer than 60 days, and behavior that circumvents the fair policy. Any action intended to gain unfair search or marketing advantages. So That's what they want, you guys. They don't want you, like, if you list something on a Monday and it hasn't sold by Friday, they don't want you relisting that thing next Monday. And a lot of people do that. I didn't know that, but posting that first video, reading the comments, I learned that a lot of you do that. So I don't want to make you guys mad or seem like I'm just like, but I am, you guys. It's not, okay, how do I say this with pissing off the least amount of people? It's not that I don't care, but when you have been a reseller for so long, if you are new here, I've been a reseller for over 15 years, you kind of just put your hands up and you do whatever these platforms say you have to do to sell on their platform. So I'm not saying I don't care, but it's just kind of like, whatever. Like, what can we do? Like, what can you do other than sell on other places? Diversify to make sure, you know, I'm always preaching diversification, diversify, so that if one platform pivots and changes the policy, at least you can get sales somewhere else. So it's not that I don't care, but I'm just kind of like hands up, like, okay, whatever. This doesn't affect me. I thought it was going to affect me, but then when I sat back and realized I literally only list things like twice, maybe 3 times a year, I figured that wouldn't be what they consider excessive. And even if it did affect me, you guys, there's nothing we can do. At the end of the day is going to end. I love that quote, cracks me up. At the end of the day, it has nothing to do with this. At the end of the day, we can't control, you guys, what these platforms do. All we can do is pivot. When I used to make ThreadUp videos, I feel like ThreadUp has prepared me for like any policy change thrown at me, because ThreadUp, if you guys are upset about this and you don't sell on ThreadUp, I can tell you ThreadUp will revamp their entire selling policy on a Monday and it goes into effect on a Tuesday. And if you don't like it, don't sell with them anymore. They've done that multiple times. Like, they give you no notice. So I feel like ThreadUp has made me so just like desensitized. Like, I'm just like, we talked about this in one of my recent videos where I told you I take a lot of the emotion out of reselling, and I think that's why I like it so much, because I've removed a ton of emotion from this business. So don't let it get you upset, you guys. If this really does affect you, think about selling on other platforms. Think about pivoting. Maybe you need to list, maybe you can like up your listing of newer inventory. And I know Poshmark's search algorithm absolutely stinks. And it really does help to just have to refresh your listings, because I will tell you, when I do my inventory and I'm relisting a lot of stuff twice a year, I get a huge uptick in Poshmark sales. So I understand those of you that are upset by this, but what can we do? Like, we literally can't do anything other than tell them your feedback, complain. There's no point. I'm not going to be upset about it. So, welcome back to my very messy storage unit. This part is not that bad. Behind me looks crazy. I've got a lot going on. This is a box you can't even really see that I'm sending to ThreadUp. These items are a Rent the Runway bundle that I sold in my group, but one of the members wanted to see some pictures. Usually, you guys, when I sell wholesale, I do not take pictures. I do not have time for that. I know some wholesalers will like give you an itemized list and do video calls. The people that I know that do that are usually full-time wholesalers. I am not. I am very part-time. So I'm just really upfront with my group members. Like, look, there are no returns. You kind of have to be okay with like what you get, but I really do try to describe everything as well as I can, you know, and just say, this is what you're going to get. It'll have flaws. It'll have no flaws. It'll be bread and butter items. Like, I'll even say, like, these items will sell anywhere from $15 to $35 or $40. Like, so no one expects to be getting things that are like selling for like $100 each. You know what I mean? So I think if you just have, like, you're really transparent about it, then you're good. You know what I mean? So any hoozles. That's what this stuff is. And then that stuff's going to ThreadUp. That's a new box. I just sold these for $100. I got these from Boutique by the Box. For those of you that have seen the unboxing video, I unboxed these in November. So these just sold. So these took 6 months to sell because I'm filming this at the end of April. And they sold for over $100, you guys. These Birkenstocks and the On Clouds, were the On Clouds that I got in that box covered the price of the box, and then every other shoe sale was just money. So I know I said I would update you guys in a dedicated video, but I might just include the sales here. So if you haven't seen that video, go and check it out. I unboxed it. I paid $18 per pair, which is a high cost of goods. That's something I try to tell newer resellers or resellers that are limited on cash but want to dip into liquidation. I feel like liquidation boxes are a good intro to that, and you're not shelling out thousands of dollars. Like, I was offered a pallet of Birkenstocks at, what was it, $13 a pair, but I had to buy a pallet, and it was a minimum of 500 Birkenstocks. So you do the math, that's a lot of money. Or a lot of liquidators will offer boxes and you pay a higher price per piece, but you can get 10 shoes. So I try to feature all of that stuff on my channel. One of my group members was like, wow, do you buy a lot from Boutique by the Box? I really don't, you guys. This was my first or second purchase from them, this shoe box. And I just discovered them at the end of 2024, and I've purchased about 6 boxes from them. I will say, if you can't tell, I have access to a lot of inventory. So I really do try to buy my liquidation in bulk so that I get the best deal. So like when I buy my pallet of Skims, I buy like thousands of pieces at a time so that I can keep my costs really low. These box companies are more expensive per piece. So that is why I don't buy a ton from Boutique by the Box, but I did want to try it out for you guys because I know, you know, even myself, sometimes you guys, I don't have 20 grand to drop on a pallet. So I just like to be trying different things and see how it goes. So I'm pretty happy with that shoe box. I'm kind of mad I didn't buy another one. I bought one because I was like, man, the cost per item is kind of pricey. But if you didn't know, I have a discount code with them. It's just NikkiBeautyBlis, the same as this channel. And it works on most of their stuff, not everything, but it gets you 10% off. So I'm really happy with that box. I wish I would have bought more. But that box, the shoe box, I was telling my group members this, the shoe box and the Lulu's dress box were my favorite, hands down. The Lulu's is sold out, and I don't even think they still have this box available. I haven't seen it since it sold out months ago. So there's a little update on that. I also came here to pick up some stuff that sells. I wanted to show you guys, I know I'm always preaching like listings year round, you guys. It is warm somewhere in the world and it is cold somewhere in the world. I am filming this in April, the end of April, and I sold this Unreal fur jacket. I'm doing a horrible job of showing it on the screen. Nikki, when you're editing, please remember to put the stock image on the screen. This sold for $100 and it's going to the United Kingdom. This is an example of one, why I sell on more than one platform. If I was selling on Poshmark only, I would have missed out on this international sell. 2, this is why I list everything year round. I don't care if it's June, July, August. I'm still listing coats, you guys, because it is cold somewhere in the world and I sell on platforms that are available internationally. So I always tell you guys, I don't tell you how to run your business. I just tell you what's working for me. And I literally sold this. This is a very heavy coat. Sorry, it's going to get loud. This is a very heavy coat, and this sold for $100 close to May. So that sold. So I sold the Birkenstocks, and then I also sold this Aerie. That's funny. It does seem like I buy a lot from Boutique by the Box. This is an Aerie bra. This is because, you guys, I just recently finished listing a lot of the stuff I bought from them. This is an Aerie bra. This didn't sell for a ton. This box was mediocre from Boutique by the Box. I should have bought the palette of Aerie. I was offered a palette of Aerie, 400 pieces. I think it was like $3 per piece. I should have purchased that instead of purchasing this box because the cost per goods on this one was like $5.50. So lesson learned, friend. This one, it's new with the tags, but it does have some like markings, some palette dust on it, and I just put that in the listing. But yeah, I just like to share those tips because I know a lot of you watch live sellers and you watch YouTubers buying pallets and truckloads, and you're like, well, I don't have the cash. Well, I say start small, look up box reviews. Those can be controversial because a lot of people have theories that us YouTubers get better boxes than those of you that don't have social media, and I don't know. I'm not going to debunk that. We even had a little conversation about it in my group where people were like, I don't like quick lots. I don't like boutique by the box. I watch all these YouTubers talk about it, and then they get these amazing boxes and I get crap. So I can just share my experience with you, and I don't hear a lot of YouTubers talking about maybe they're getting a privilege. So I'm going to tell you, maybe I am. I don't know. I used to say these companies don't know who I am, but now as my channel has started growing, they're actually reaching out to me. So I'm like, okay, maybe they do know who I am. Listen, friends, I just film and talk to myself, and I forget. It's really odd. I forget that thousands of people watch this stuff. So just being fully transparent, they may know who I am. Maybe I get better boxes, and I'm real enough to tell you that, okay? So proceed with caution. That is the same thing I tell my group members. I'm very honest about that. So the Aerie box probably would not buy again. I would buy it in bulk though, and I would list it. I do not do well selling this stuff in live sales. Like, I sold this exact bra in a live sale for $10. I listed it and it sold for like $20 or $25. So this stuff, if you do buy it, is definitely worth listing because you'll command a higher price. And maybe you have the clientele that likes American Eagle and Aerie. My clientele, I've learned after doing this for a very long time, they are like younger millennials up to geriatric millennials and up. Like, my demographic is basically 30 to 70 year olds, mostly women. So this stuff is not flying off the shelves for me. This is the type of stuff that's selling for me, like $100 Birkenstocks, and coats for $100. Like, I love the quote, because someone used to like comment on my stuff and be like, you know, you buy a lot of old lady stuff. Like, you talk about Chicos and Talbots and like all this old lady stuff. And I'm like, you know what? Old ladies have old lady money. Okay. And you can include me in an old lady category. You probably think I'm old. I don't care. You know what? 14-year-olds, they don't have a ton of money. I want the customers that have the money to spend with me, that have $100 to spend on a pre-owned jacket, that have $100 to spend on Birkenstocks. Most 15, 16-year-olds don't have that money. I didn't even have money to spend like that, like in my late teens and early 20s. So yeah, I'll take all the old lady money I can get. Don't take offense, you guys. I consider myself in that category. Also, you might be wondering, Nikki, why are you not on camera? Because I look like an absolute tragedy right now. So you don't need to see me. I just wanted to share the tips at the storage unit. We have a lot of new subbies. Hello, friends. The video I posted, how I make, what was it called? How I make $2,000 without listing, has done very well, especially for my small little channel. And it's brought us almost like 600 or 700 new subscribers. And I just posted that video 12 days ago. So hello to all of the new friends. Welcome in. I have been a part-time reseller for 16 years. This is my storage unit in Los Angeles, California, where I store about 1,200 of my listings. I also have these same bins behind me, but I'm not going to show you behind me because it looks crazy. This is just the pretty nice side. We actually can go higher. And hubby was telling me, you know, if I really, because I do want to get my active listings up to 2,000 before the end of the year. He was suggesting if I want to make the investment to get the shelves that go higher up, and I have like a little step stool, we can do that. Or we can just add some more shelves behind me. I think I'm just going to move because I don't, you see how this whole wall is shelves? I don't have the whole wall behind me set up. So I could add some more shelves to there. I think I'm going to do that just to like spare my back. Because lifting bins from up there, I don't know. I'm going to make the most of this space though, because storage space where I live, you guys, is very, very expensive. Every time I tell you guys what I pay in storage fees, you guys are like, what? Yeah. So I'm just going to try to make the most of this. So, all right, that's enough rambling.